Hello all, welcome to Event-Driven Architecture Summit 2023. Before I dive deep into the session, I would like to start by asking two questions. Have you ever come across a scenario where you need to migrate mainframe applications to AWS or any other hyperscaler cloud native platform? Have you ever come across a situation where you need to integrate your mainframe applications with event-driven architecture? So something like a distributed microservices environment where you need to integrate using a saga pattern. It could be choreography or orchestration for your mainframe applications. Over the next few minutes, I would like to spend some time walk you through these three architecture patterns. My name is Panchomarthi. I'm the head of architecture for mainframe application modernization at AWS. This is our agenda for today. We'll start with the overview. What is mainframes? What are the benefits? What is the approach of modernization? What are the benefits of the modernization and migrations to cloud or AWS? And what are the different patterns available? And what's the technology? And what is the AWS mainframe modernization service offers to the faster migration and modernization? How does event-driven architecture plays in with these migrations and modernizations for your mainframe applications? As you can see on this slide, mainframes have been running enterprise applications for last 30 plus years. And these are the platform of choice for a lot of our large enterprise customers. And many of the Fortune 100 companies and top banks, top insurances, and all largest retailers and top telecom organizations have been using the mainframe for a long time. If you have a credit card in your wallet, 90% of the transactions from your credit card transactions, if you're standing at in front of a desk at the Starbucks or somewhere you're paying using your credit card, 90% is a highly likelihood that those transactions have been like going through the mainframe platform. So similarly, if you're shopping at Walmart or Target or any of the top retailers, the transactions have been processed by the mainframe platform. But these applications now, customers are choosing to modernize and migrate because of various reasons. We'll talk about that in the next slide. And in the early days, it was mostly targeted for on-prem migrations using a distributed platform. Over the last 5 years, the regulators and large organizations have started trusting the migrations to the cloud platform because of various reasons. Could be these platforms are now proven to be processing the highly scalable workloads, or regulators are now trusting the public cloud for their security and compliance reasons. What are the top 5 reasons customers are choosing to migrate? Cost savings. Mainframes are very expensive. They would like to reduce their capital expense. They also would like to spur the innovation and faster experimentation by reducing their business risk, because they would like to compete with modern cloud native players by faster experimentation and faster innovation, so that they reduce the business risk. They also would like to change the dependency on the legacy skills. So today, the mainframe average age of the mainframe programmers are increasing. Not many people are entering into the market with the mainframe skills. And the agility is one of the main reasons customers are choosing to migrate. They would like to take advantage of the modern CI/CD tools, so that they can take advantage of faster feature delivery to the market. And data is locked down on the mainframe, and it's siloed, and it's difficult to extract the value out of it. So by migrating the data, they're unlocking the value of the data, so that they can generate faster business insights. These are the 5 reasons the customers are choosing to migrate. These are some of our customers who migrated mainframe applications to AWS. Let's start with US Air Force and New York Times. They have used refactor approach as their migration of choice. And in the refactor, they have modified their COBOL applications using automated tooling into Java software language. They have replaced their databases with RDS, And they have also replaced their tooling. It could be ACF2 with Active Directory tooling and for security. And they replaced with their scalability with auto scaling, elastic load balancer, and all. By doing that, they were able to achieve 70% of cost savings and 50% agility in terms of their releases. And similarly, Coca-Cola and DVSA, Driver and Vehicle Standards Agency in UK, have used refactoring as replatform as their choice. In this case, they have kept their COBOL programming as their software language, but they replaced the entire ecosystem in terms of hardware with AWS Cloud Platform, and their operating system is replaced, and their databases is replaced, and their third-party tooling is replaced. Vanguard and Capital One has chosen augmentation pattern to migrate their data and build real-time streaming, and so that they can start generating the insights using their data through digital integrations with their web and mobile channels, or could be an integrations with their analytics application. When we talk about the modernization and migration, these are two distinct broad categories we discuss with our customers. On the left, you see migration and modernization. It typically talks about migrating away from your on-premises mainframe platform using either automated tooling using replatform and refactor, or you could choose to manually rewrite or repurchase. But at AWS, if it is a mass modernization with millions of lines of code with thousands of maps, it is always a good choice to use automated refactoring using the tools for accelerate your modernization and reduce the risk with modernization. But when we talk about the augmentation and integration, here you are migrating your data but through replication or file delivery. Once the data lands on a cloud platform, either you can use analytics, take advantage of the analytics services like QuickSights, AIML using SageMaker, start unleashing the value of data. Or you could build APIs and integrate it to new channels and new functions like web and mobile, and you could reduce your backup storage, or you could build DevOps functions using CI/CD pipelines. And customers are choosing different patterns depending on their business objectives. At AWS, we support all the patterns. In 2021, we launched AWS Mainframe Modernization service. This service actually enables you to migrate automated migration from your current on-prem mainframe using analysis, development, and runtime environment, so that we can remove all the undifferentiated heavy lifting of migrations away from our customers. This service is fully managed cloud native runtime environment. It is not a typical MSP, managed service provider, provided by our systems integrator. Before launching this service, as you could see in the middle, we were just offering a platform, and we were offering all the way up to hypervisor and host operating system, but we were not actually supporting our customers in terms of integrating the third-party tooling and accelerating the migration. In case of the cloud native services, which is mainframe modernization service, which is a managed service, we were actually removing all those roadblocks from our customers by providing the licensing and billing, which is integrated with the product. And we are also providing high availability, high scalability, and security integrations right out of the box. So this service will enable our customers to accelerate the migrations. When we talk to our customers, what we found out is when customers make the choice of go with refactor or replatform or replication or file transfer, they have to spend a lot of time finding out what is the right tool of choice, who is available in the market, and how to integrate those tooling into the rest of the AWS system. They have to do POCs, prototypes, and prove that it works. And they have to integrate with AWS security tooling. They have to integrate with AWS CloudWatch tooling for monitoring and all that. And they have to build high available applications. When we discussed with our customers, they would like to eliminate all that undifferentiated heavy lifting. So at AWS, we partnered with many of our tooling partners like Micro Focus, Precisely, and Model9. We are integrating that directly out of the box into the AWS Mainframe Modernization service. We acquired Blue Edge as our refactor partner, and now Blue Edge is as an AWS tool. which is now tightly integrated into the AWS Mainframe Modernization service. This enables our customers to remove all the undifferentiated heavy lifting and quickly migrate into AWS platform without having to worry about all the integrations which comes out of the box. Let's take some time to dive deep into patterns. Modernization is very highly used term here. But when we look at the modernization, what it really means for each pattern, as you start all the way from the left, that is your mainframe, which is a blue color, which identifies that you are maintaining the hardware, all the databases, files, and tools, and everything that comes with it on the mainframe. As you move to the next one, which is an augmentation pattern, which is replication and file transfer, you're still keeping your mainframe as is, but you are modernizing and migrating your data away from your mainframe through replication tools or file transfer so that you can start building the new functions on AWS Cloud Native platform with AWS runtime, managed databases, and AWS functions like microservices or analytic solution like AIML, SageMaker, or whatever. So in this case, you are only using the AWS platform and the modernization for the migrated data, whatever runs, but you're still keeping the mainframe as is. But when you move to the replatform of choice, here you have migrated your application, no mainframe exists here, but you still kept your COBOL code as is, your some of the data formats related to your mainframe as is, but you replaced the rest of the ecosystem with the operating system, the cloud native platform. You replaced your databases, you replaced your third-party tooling like ACF2 can be replaced with the Active Directory, your monitoring tools can be replaced with your CloudWatch, and a lot of those replacement happens, but you still kept the COBOL code as is. If you're truly thinking about migration and modernization with no mainframe related, both the software stack and the operating system and the hardware, refactor is your choice with Blue Edge. In case of the refactor, you are also replacing your COBOL code with Java. That means your application code, your data formats, your databases, and your runtime environments, everything is now running on AWS with fully managed runtime with cloud native tooling with modern language like Java. So the modernization can be differentiated in a different ways, depending on the choice of the pattern and choice of the tool that you can see on this slide. Let's talk about the event-driven architecture. How does event-driven architecture can be applied with your mainframe application modernization? As you can see on this slide, all the way to the bottom, your mainframe applications and mainframe platform. On the top, you see your cloud native distributed applications running. How does these two different platforms integrate with each other? We are presenting the event mesh. In this case, the event mesh, what it does is it's nothing but an interconnected set of event brokers, which actually make it easy and seamless for your applications. It doesn't matter where these applications run, which platform these applications run. They can be on-prem, they can be on-prem mainframe, on-prem distributed applications, or it could be any hyperscaler or AWS in this case. So that they integrate with each other so that the events can be published and consumed without having to worry about where the tighter integration across these different platforms. Event mesh make it easier for the integration of the events. Let's talk about the three different patterns. If you start with all the way from the left, liberation of the data. In this case, what we meant here is by using your mainframe CDC replication tools, it could be precisely Data Connect, you will be able to migrate and stream the events out of your mainframe database updates. It could be IMS and DB2 using change data capture. Those events can be consumed by consumers on AWS platform or any other hyperscaler, can be landed on a data lake, and we can start building the analytic applications on top of it, which is Amazon QuickSight or Amazon SageMaker. And same way, if you're talking about digital integrations, the data can be replicated and events can be consumed by our databases of choice, which could be Aurora DB if it is a relational database, DynamoDB if it is a NoSQL database. The data lands in some of these databases. And customers can build their APIs on top of these databases and integrate it with the API gateway, which can be integrated with your web and mobile applications by using inquiry functions in this case. How can we integrate the event-driven architecture patterns like a Saga patterns, which is the third pattern that we are describing here? In this case, the Saga pattern it could be choreography or orchestration. The mainframe application participate with your distributed applications. In this case, let's say if you have a set of microservices processing a business applications on the cloud native platform, those applications can, the microservices can publish events that your mainframe can consume, and your mainframe can process those events and publish an event back using event-driven architecture, which can be, you can build a Saga pattern with this, where mainframe applications and microservices coexist with each other and participate in that Saga pattern using choreography or orchestration. We talked a lot about replication and publishing events using the replication tool. AWS has partnered with Precisely, and we launched AWS Mainframe Modernization data replication with Precisely offering. In this case, you can integrate Precisely with your mainframe databases using change data capture, publish the data out and into an event-driven platform. It could be MSK, managed service streaming for our Kafka. And once the data lands on a Kafka, a consumer can consume the data and the events and load into any of the database of your choice. It could be object storage, it could be file systems, data warehousing, data streaming. We can discuss about all the integrations that we can quickly accelerate using this tool. And so in here, your events published on your Kafka can be consumed, can be loaded into a data warehouse platform like a Redshift, or can be loaded into an Aurora DB for a relational database, or can be loaded into DynamoDB for NoSQL databases. Then you can adapt and deploy all these use cases like analytics, new channels, and AI/ML capabilities on the data once it lands there. What are the top pain points we are hearing from our customers? Some of our customers are saying that 80% of the processing on the mainframe for transactions is inquiry. And they would like to reduce the processing compute and the cost on the mainframe, and also move that data out so that they can quickly develop digital integrations and generate customer insights to the business and customers. The way we approach this is, if you have a mainframe and using the change data capture using Precisely Data Connect, you can quickly integrate and publish the data and events onto MSK, managed service streaming for Kafka, or publish the data onto your MQ messages. They can be consumed by any consumer and load the data into Aurora or DynamoDB. And once the data is on these cloud native databases, developers and builders can build APIs, and those APIs can be exposed on API gateway, can be consumed by web and mobile and your chatbot applications. So you can quickly generate insights out of this. So here, by using event-driven architecture, you are publishing events out of your mainframe into either MSK or MQ, and those events consumed by your cloud native services load into the database, can be exposed as API to your digital channels. And Vanguard and Capital One has started this journey around 5 years back, and most of their inquiry services today run on mainframe, actually moved away from mainframe and run it on AWS to reduce their costs and also unlock the value of the data for digital integration and generating quicker customer insights. Another pattern that I would like to explain, in this case, customers are also asking that data is siloed, logged on the mainframe. They would like to migrate the data and quickly generate reporting out of it, or run AI/ML models using AWS native tooling like SageMaker or a QuickSight for reporting. And in here, it's a similar pattern, but here the files can be transferred or the databases can be replicated using Precisely Data Connect into any kind of tooling available, whether it is direct integration with your Redshift databases, or it could be MSK, which is Kafka events generation, so that the data can be loaded there. And once the data lands in your data warehousing platform like Redshift or a data lake, and customers can take advantage of that data and generate quick site reporting or SageMaker related AML. And Amtrak has actually used this model, and they reduced $1 million on their legacy analytics platform over the 3 years. And they developed high-speed intercity passenger rail arrival and departure information. And this is actually one of the patterns that is can quickly get off the ground and start using it for your modernization migration. Um, Thank you for the opportunity. And I would like to have a follow-on discussion if you have more questions. These are my details for contact.